Hello, Wu Ming here. So I made this video for Panther Tao, a friend of mine that was asking about working out at home and wanted to know some routines for working out at home. So here I am just showing all my home equipment. I was asking her about what kind of equipment she does have, because that changes what I would recommend for different workouts and whatnot. But here's a thing you can lay down on and do abs. This is parallel bars, so you can also work your abs with that or your lower pectoralis muscles. These are my weights. I have 15, 30, and 40-pound weights, and those are grip machine type things and wrist weights as well. So in this video, I wanted to give ideas of how you could make your own routine as opposed to just giving you a routine to do. Here I am with weights, wrist weights on, doing some sword practice or bokken practice. So it's great to have weapons, like I've shown the weapons I have, because the weapons have a certain weight to them. And then with the wrist weights as well combined, it really actually becomes a much better workout. And here I am doing a different sword form with a practice sword. So here I am with a Chinese Jan sword that I bought. It's about two kilograms, I think, or 1 kilogram, not sure. Probably 1 kilogram, but then I have the scabbard on it and I have the wrist weights. So again, it's a lot more of an exercise than if you just had a sword without any other weight. And I love this type of activity here is great for opening up your shoulders and getting flexibility and whatnot. And so not just muscle tone and muscle strength, but also flexibility and agility and reduction of the chance of injuries. And here's some, other things you can do. And there I am using the sword. Here's me doing it with a staff, so you can do it with any weapon. So what's really important is that you have a well-rounded workout. So you want to make sure that you hit all the major muscle groups in the body. You want to hit the calf muscles, you want to hit the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the gluteus maximus, the abdominal muscles, lower and upper abdominals, and then you want to work the obliques, which are to the sides, the hip extensors and hip flexors, the latissimus dorsi, the trapezius, I think it's called rhomboids, part in the back, your shoulders, your front delt, rear delt, middle delt, and the muscles of your neck and arms. Here's a video of me doing some sit-ups on a sit-up machine that I have downstairs. These things are great. You can actually lower it to make it more difficult or make it higher to make it easier. So this is a wonderful thing to use if you can get something like that. Or just stick your feet under a couch or something, or under some weights in order to do the sit-ups. But what I wanted to talk about was that, so there's many different ways that I do a workout. I have isometrics as part of my workout. I have weights as part of my workout. I have calisthenics as part of my workout. I have Qigong, which is a type of calisthenics that also involves energy work, which we could get into if you want as well. But so Qigong, or basically kata or forms that you would do, are also basically Qigong, especially if they're done in the same way. Here I am on the dip station. It's another good place to do ab exercises. The dip station I use for lower abs. As you can see with things like this is good for obliques, twisting back and forth. And that ab machine, or just sit-ups, I use for the higher abs. So here I'm using 15-pound dumbbells to punch with. You can do this with 8 pounds, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever works best for you, and then work your way up. This is actually a lot of weight to be punching with, so I wouldn't do this right away, but you can work your way up to 15 pounds. I've never really known what to call these. I used to call them grippers when I was young, but it's just a grip strength machine you can buy at any fitness store or whatever, but I don't know what the real term is for them. Anyways, some things I wanted to discuss in general about working out. Um, a lot of the stuff I'm doing with weight and whatnot, where I was swinging the sword and whatever, the slower you do it, the better it is for you, the more benefit you're going to get out of it. And you can also do it fast, but there's still a reason to do it slow. So practice it slow at first, and then you can practice it fast, and then slow and fast. This is an Okinawan grip exercise that you can do with 15-pound weights, or I've seen people do 20 or 30 pounds as well. 15 pounds works for me. Another thing I wanted to mention is there should be some part of cardio in your workout, especially if martial arts is important to you. My teacher only requires actually 5 minutes of cardio, because you'll actually find in a self-defense situation, most self-defense situations don't last more than 30 seconds even. That being said, I still feel there are certain situations where that's not going to be true and it is going to take longer. So I even recommend 15 minutes of cardio. And for me, myself, I like to be able to do about an hour of cardio, but that is just my own requirement for myself. So these are called calf raises or heel raises, and I do them in the way Bruce Lee did, which is pigeon-toed, regular, and then with your feet splayed out almost to 45-degree angles. And then you just keep going back and forth while doing that. And I was holding weights while doing it. At first I was holding 40-pound weights. Now I'm holding 15-pound weights. And this is called stripping. And I like to do this in weight training, is to lift heavy weight, then do a set of lighter weights, and then do a set without weight, something like that.